Good morning, Flosstube. It is May 27th, day 27 of Stitch Mania, and look at me, I'm just stitching away here. Can you believe that? Like it's what I do or something. I thought I'd just talk to you and stitch today. Well, I guess that's what I've been doing, but you know, just for something a little different for you to look at first thing. Anyways, day 27. 27 days I've been doing this. I have to say it doesn't feel like 27 days. Yeah, moving along very quickly. As we've talked about before, life does, doesn't it? Especially whenever it's filled with stuff you love and stuff you enjoy. So, I have a confession to make. I had my first Maynia fail yesterday. My poor summer row. I just wasn't feeling it. It's a cute design. Oops, I just sent stuff flying off my desk, one of which was another pair of readers. That's okay. It's a cute design. And maybe someday I'll do it. I've been debating whether I'm just going to gift the chart away or not. Maybe it's the fabric. Could be the colors. But, you know, the colors are appropriate for the theme. But I just am not feeling it. And you know something? With all the starts that I've had this month and all the starts still to come, I have so many things to do. If I am not loving something, I'm not going to spend my time on it. So, I'll be taking out those stitches, putting the fabric in this chart back away, and not going to do that one. So today, we have my Modern Folk Embroidery 4 Seasons Mystery Stitch Along. I am way behind, as you know, because I stopped. I had started and had it oriented wrong on the fabric and had to restart. And it has been put aside more than it has been stitched on since then. And I talked to you yesterday about my color changes that, you know, hopefully I will like them better. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. So, my main color, the dark blue, is Gentle Art Sampler Thread Wrought Iron. And it is a gorgeous mixture of blues and blacks. It's just a really pretty variegation. Subtle, but it's there. I don't know whether it comes out as well. And I think you can see it a little bit, but I don't think you see it a whole lot in my stitching, but that's okay. I love the color. Part of me wishes I had done the whole thing in this color, but I talked about that yesterday. So the other colors for this month are these and, where did my gray go? My gray got sucked up somewhere. Probably on the floor. Yep, sure enough. So it will now be covered with kitty fuzzies, because that's how we roll in this house. So this is Liberty by Gentle Arts. I have more of that somewhere in another project. So that's this gray here. There's a lot of more snowflakes, small snowflakes and little dots of motifs through here. Bigger snowflake, Quaker motif snowflakes over here that I'll be doing in the gray. I'm just putting in these touches of colors. The brown, there's on the the most recent section down here, which I think is month, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's some trees down here that I'm going to do in the brown as well. So I'm just going to have touches of the brown, but I want most of this to be gray. So that will I think, give the impression of winter. So hopefully I'll be happy with it when the time comes. You can see over here then how my palette, these are the ones I've pulled for spring, how my palette is going to brighten up, yet still be soft colors for spring. I'll still have the blue as the outline, of course. And I'm not sure what mix of these I'm going to use. Like the brown, instead of the brown, I'll be using the green because the green starts to come back. Instead of the gray, I'll have the blue. And I want to add the pink and the purple in somehow, but I'm not really sure. This might be bright enough that that will go to summer, but I'm not really sure how these are going to play into it yet. This, let's see, this, and this are all from a company called Color Compliments. I think they must have come up in my recommendations on Etsy. And so I wandered over to her store, and she has some gorgeous, gorgeous, this is when I was looking for new colors for this. She has some gorgeous, as you can see, colorways over there. So I got an assortment. This is hers as well. I got an assortment of her colors for this. She is in British Columbia. You can see it's a 6-stranded floss based on DMC. And there's actually 10 yards, so these are good size skeins. I don't remember the cost of them, but go check her out. Color with an O-U-R compliments.com on Etsy. Well, actually, that must be a website. I thought I got them on Etsy, but maybe she has both. I don't remember. But anyway, so that's where we are with that. As with all of my other things, I want to keep working on this as steadily as I can. I'm so far behind that it's not like I'm going to try and catch up. And Harbor Haven is really the one that I want to make sure I concentrate on. But yeah, maybe by the end of the year we'll have this done. And I know, that's probably optimistic because that's what we do, right? So let's see. It is about 10 till 10 here, so I'm a little bit earlier. It's always easier to do these, or I get started quicker, I guess I should say, whenever I'm working on a whip, because I don't have the whole, starting process to go through before I start filming. So, and it's always so good to get back to these things that I haven't stitched on in a while. I did look to see if there were any more I wanted to start before I end this series. And of course there are, but I'm going to be pulling out cat hairs galore from this. There are, of course, but pretty much all of them are ones that I don't have the fabric. That would take a little bit more thinking before I can start it. This one, well, I could probably start, but I'm not sure. I bet you I could find a better fabric. So yeah, I don't have anything else. I just got, or they're ones that are like, oh, I'm saving this for my Christmas in July. So there are ones that I would like to start. I just got a new Satsuma Street. I don't know whether you saw that she put out a new, how she has one, I think it's called, I don't know whether it's Spring Garden or whether that's the one with the duck. She has the ones with the cats in the different gardens, and she just put out one with a cat in a cactus garden. And of course, since my in-laws are in Phoenix and Mike grew up in Scottsdale, yeah, I had to get that one. It has a very nice Southwest vibe to it with a cat. So I'd like to start that one soon. But again, I just need to stop for a while and work on what I have. And like I said, I just don't have all the fabrics and everything together. I was, for a brief moment, excuse me, tempted to start my street scene, the Korean pattern that I just got the fabric for. Because I had already bought most of the flosses I need for that. I think the store was missing. I got them at the Joann sale, and I think the store was missing like 4 of them, but I could certainly start. But I decided to just hold off. So yeah, we're going to go with what we have and stick with what we have. I'm also going to be spending a large chunk of today, much more than I'll be doing stitching, in fact, doing scrapbooking. I mentioned that, I think I mentioned yesterday, everything kind of runs together. I don't know what I've mentioned anymore and what I haven't. We're going to be doing a digital scrapbook album for Rosemary, for my friend Rosemary. And we've pulled Marnie, my friend that lives here at the apartment building. She's kind of organizing this. She decided that it would be nice to do like a Snapfish or Shutterfly, I forget which service she's using, put together an album for Rosemary. And so we have gotten together, a bunch of us, and we're all contributing layouts. And Marnie's going to put it together. We want to get this done sooner rather than later, because you never know. And so I'm working. Hold on, I'm going to tilt you a little bit. This is one of my layouts. This is my friend here. This is my friend Marnie, who lives in the apartment complex. Me and Rosemary. Rosemary, Marnie, my friend Janine, who lives in London, Ontario, and myself. We were all together here at the apartment, and this is actually in Rosemary's house. So that's that layout almost complete, I think. I have to tweak some of the spacing on things, but that's almost done. But then the other thing we decided to do is Rosemary and her husband have traveled all over the world. And Rosemary is, of course, she's, part of the digital scrapbooking world. She was heavily into that. And so she has a lot of photos, and she's uploaded a lot of them onto Facebook. But we don't know how many she has been able to really do anything with, especially in recent years. So what I'm going to spend most of the day doing is grabbing some of the photos that she's loaded onto Facebook and just creating simple, more like Instagram style layouts and get them into an album for her and for her husband, because it's nice to have those ready at hand that you can pick up and page through. So that is what I'm going to be spending a chunk of the day on. Those should come together fairly quickly, because it's really just going to be squares on a page. I have to get the page kind of a template set up, and then I'll just be able to plop the pictures on and resize them and save them off and get them to Marnie. So, but that will mean not a whole lot of stitching time today until probably this evening. Of course, then I'll probably be knitting. So yeah, who knows? But that's okay. We'd also talked about going to a movie today. I don't know whether we'll get out or not. We should. It's been a while. We love going to the movies, and it's been a while. There's not actually that many movies out there that I want to see, though. Infinity War is one. It hasn't gotten the best reviews, but we love the Marvel universe, I guess you'd say. So we do want to see it in the theater. And then Deadpool. We loved the first Deadpool. So funny. I haven't actually heard much about this next one, but we'll go see it because we enjoyed the first one. And again, it's part of the Marvel, or is it part of the part of the DC comic universe? I'm not sure. Of course, Solo has come out this weekend, and we will go see that, but not the first weekend. It's just rather mind-boggling. So we have 3-4 theaters right in our general area that would be ones we could go to. Oh, for heaven's sakes, stop that. For heaven's sakes, hold that thought. This one's being particularly difficult. There we go. Every single one of them, of course, has Solo, but every single one of them has at least 3 theaters, 3 of the, actual, what do you call them, rooms? Theaters within the theater. What do I call those? I don't know. Taken up with Solo, and in fact, one of them has 6 separate of their theaters, you know, out of like 20 or so. This is a huge one. But there must be 6 or 7 of them that have solo playing. So they obviously are anticipating huge crowds. We can wait. We do want to see that one in the theater. And we are big Star Wars fans, of course, because Mike and science fiction. But I am too. I love those. I love those movies too. So that either today or tomorrow we'll get out for the movies. I'd really like to concentrate on the scrapbook pages today, but you know, if Mike wants to get out, we'll do that. Like I said, the hardest part is probably going to be just downloading the photos from Rosemary's page and getting them to someplace where I can work with them. But even that shouldn't be too difficult. Fairly tech savvy in that regard. So, let's see what else. Yeah, not a whole lot else is happening, but of course, as I say every day, it's only been a day since I talked to you. And I actually don't want to take too long with this. I'm at 16 minutes. So I'm going to just do this last little row. It is so much easier for me going down this way than up. You can see I had started to work up here. Boy, I hope those meet. Stay tuned for that, huh? But decided for the video that I would work down because it's just so much more natural. Whoops, just sent that flying. Just so much more natural for me to do. And having my thumb here to kind of fold the fabric down so the needle goes through in the right place. The needle goes through in the right place. Oh, don't be a dinglebat. So it's funny, you know, this is 40 count. This is a 40 count, it's a Zweigert. Edinburgh's 36. I forget what 40 count is. Newcastle, maybe. It's a, I forget which the colorway is. Pewter, probably. Flagstone? I don't remember. Anyways, the threads of the fabric are so close together that I find it more difficult to work over 2 on this 40 count than I do over 1 on the 36 count that I'm working my Harbor Haven on. And it all has to do with how close together the threads are of the fabric. You know, I can see the holes so well because the 36 count for my Harbor Haven is so much more loosely woven that I can see the holes so much more clearly that it's not hard at all. Whereas this, sometimes I have to like look at it for a minute or two to make sure I'm seeing, especially when I'm going diagonal like this, to make sure I'm bringing it up in the right place. Right, I said I was just going to do that one more row, didn't I? I'm so funny. But I'm not going to go the whole way down to make it connect on the video. Although, it wouldn't take me too long. Oh, look at that big fat thread. Okay, I'm going to actually put this down here and talk to you about tomorrow's piece. So tomorrow is I'll be working with this fabric, the printed fabric from Kaniki's. And let me dig out, the pattern is on my iPad in Knit Companion, which, as I've mentioned before, is the app I use to read my PDF charts. So that is the pattern. Isn't that pretty? Done on this linen, so you can see in the background the printed, right? The printed trees. And then like the birdhouse and these trees and the little birds, and here's the little bell-snickle Santa and the deer. Look at those antlers, isn't that awesome? And then the little birds perched all over. So that's on top, a layer of snow at the ground. If anybody knows what a bell-snickle is, what the origin of that is, I would love to know that. I've only just seen that word since I came back to cross-stitching, in the cross-stitching world. I'm sure it's some folk art type of thing, but I really don't know what the origin is, so I'd love to hear that. So anyways, I don't have any of the flosses pulled for this, so I will, probably won't do that until tomorrow morning. So I may be a little late tomorrow morning, but hey, that's the way it goes. I will be here eventually, I promise. It might not be till tomorrow afternoon. Look at this little guy. Little black and white bird. Isn't he pretty? So, and let me just say one of the, you know how I love my iPad and how I love the PDFs on here, because look, oh my goodness, I can zoom the whole way in. So imagine that that's a chart. I can zoom the whole way in. Here, let's go to that page. Look, no trouble reading here. Huh? Let me tell you. PDFs are the way to go to make it easier to read. Look, I can zoom in, I can zoom out. Imagine that's a chart. I'm not going to show you one of my charts, but that's why I love my PDFs. So anyways, that is all for today. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great Sunday, everybody. Bye-bye.